Welcome to Big Rock Moto. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Only two quick favors as we get started. Please subscribe if you're not already, and please bookmark my affiliate links and use them whenever you're shopping for parts and riding gear. I really appreciate that. So, I have been out riding and testing with three of the latest action cameras: GoPro's Hero 13, Insta360's Ace Pro 2, and DJI's latest, the Osmo Action 6. Now, stay tuned because I'm doing an unsponsored, unbiased comparison test giving you the pros and cons of each of these three cameras to help you decide which is best for you. I also will be doing a complete guide to motovlogging in 2026, talking about how to get appropriate levels of image quality and audio quality and figure out microphones and helmet mounting and all that kinds of stuff. So stay tuned for that as well. However, for today's video, I want to focus on the DJI Osmo Action 6 Pro because this has become really my personal favorite camera for motovlogging and all the on-bike footage that you see in my videos this year. Now, this camera is not perfect, and I will be giving a few criticisms and suggested improvements of this camera at the end of the video. For full transparency, DJI is sponsoring this video today. However, they did not give me a script to follow, and they did not have any editorial input into this review. So my testing is my own, my findings are my own, and the opinions I'm sharing are all my own.
All right, so let me give you the 5 reasons why this camera is my favorite for motovlogging in 2026. Reason number 1 is the battery life. The battery life, so when in the early days of this channel, I used GoPro cameras. I don't even remember what version it was. It was, 7 or 8 or something like that. And now I even have the latest GoPro 13. I always had to carry 2 or 3 extra batteries with me because the battery life was very unreliable on those. First of all, it would never really give you an accurate readout. They would die when they said 30% or 25%. They would just shut off. And the battery life was very limited. With the Osmo Action 6, the battery life, so I did some testing and I've been doing some testing for the comparison. I have a battery life of about 2 hours and 8 minutes, or 128 minutes, if I'm shooting at 4K 30 frames a second in 16:9 landscape mode, regular mode. Now that's really good, and really in practice, because I don't film all day, I only film certain segments of the reviews I'm doing. I don't really need to carry, I never carry extra batteries with me if I'm using a DJI camera. I just don't need it. Now, if you use the 1:1 format, the larger, if you use the whole sensor, or if you use a higher frame rate or high resolution, you could see less battery life. It also depends on if you have your screens turned on for a long time. Like right now, I've got the front screen running on this other camera here on the handlebar, the Action 5 Pro that I still have. So it can be affected by a lot of things, but under optimal conditions, a couple hours of battery life shooting at 4K 30, that's phenomenal and really is a great benefit as a moto creator.
Reason number 2 I love this camera is it has the industry's first variable aperture lens. Without getting into all the nerdy photography terms and everything, what this basically allows the camera to do is to change the aperture or the opening inside the lens to let in a different amount of light. This has 2 really big advantages for this camera. Number 1, it can adjust the aperture automatically depending on the lighting situation. So on a bright sunny day, like I'm out here right now on my deck in the hot sun, it can use the f4.0 setting to control things better in terms of the lighting. And then in a dark setting, like very low light or at nighttime, it can use the f2.0 setting. There's another big advantage to variable aperture, and you know this if you do photography stuff, but opening up the lens with a wider aperture or a smaller aperture number, so in this case the 2.0 setting, gives it more of a depth of field. It can sort of blur the background a little bit, kind of like you're seeing right now as I'm filming on this Osmo Pocket 3, which I use for a lot of these kinds of footage. Is it also has a wide enough aperture it can blur the background. So now you can get a little bit of that with an action camera, which is a really nice thing.
Reason number 3 is this camera has a very large 1/1.1 imaging sensor. It's larger than the competitors, and this really gives you 3 distinct advantages. The second advantage this large sensor has is that A larger imaging sensor gives you a much improved low light image compared to the competitors. This is especially true compared to the GoPro, which is really bad in low light. Now, the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, I will admit, has pretty darn good low light performance. But the DJI probably does still have the edge here because of this larger sensor. So if you shoot in darker conditions, low light, at nighttime, then you're going to want to look at this camera. The third advantage this large and square-shaped sensor has, and did I mention it's a square-shaped sensor? That's a huge advantage. What they did with this camera is they give you something called the custom image mode, right? So usually you'd have to pick a portrait orientation or a horizontal orientation or landscape for your camera, depending on if you're a content creator capturing stuff for Instagram or TikTok or short videos versus somebody capturing long-form video content or photos. But on this camera, you don't have to choose, because what I'm using right now is the custom mode, which uses the square sensor. It gives me a 1-to-1 image ratio. That means that in processing or editing, I can pick either I want to use the landscape image or I want to use the vertical portrait image for short form content. So no more switching the orientation of the camera or doing fancy editing tricks or having to do a major crop of your image, which gives you not a good result. Now you've got it all in one capture, and that's an amazing thing for creators.
Reason number 4 I love using this camera is you have easy access and easy connectivity to DJI's audio and microphone ecosystem. Many of you are probably already using DJI microphones if you're watching this video. So they make wireless mics, but they also make wired microphones. So with my helmet motovlog setup, or riding footage or on-bike footage, whatever you want to call it, I'll have my chin mount here, and I use a wired microphone. Actually, I use this one right here. This is a DJI lavalier mic. What's really cool about this, you can see it's already in this helmet, is it's got this 90-degree connection here. It means that it just doesn't stick out as much from the camera. I really like that. Also, really why I use it is it provides really excellent audio quality. The reason I use a wired microphone personally in my helmet is that for convenience. The microphone is not a powered mic. It doesn't have a battery in it, and I don't have to turn it off and on every time I want to record some helmet footage. It's just ready to go. I plug it in using this little adapter here for the camera. This plugs into the camera, and then I plug the microphone in here. Very easy to use. So I use it for convenience. Now, a lot of people will want to use wireless microphones like the Mic Mini, or maybe even the microphone I'm using right now while I'm filming on the Pocket 3. I've got some more Mic Minis here. These can be great. They have great quality, and you can place them at different points of the bike if you want to capture different types of audio, like maybe from the exhaust or something like that. But you're gonna have to turn these off and on. But my point is that DJI has you covered in terms of whatever kind of audio setup that you'd like to use, and they all work very, very well.
Reason number 5 is that this camera supports 10-bit color, but probably even most importantly, that 10-bit color, you can put it in D-Log-M mode. I know this is starting to sound a little bit fancy and nerdy here, but what a D-Log-M color allows you to do is it's a more flat profile. It allows the camera to capture more of a raw, if you're familiar with photography, it's like a raw file, right? So you have more information in the video or in the image. Now what that allows you to do is then you can color grade your footage in post-processing to get a true, accurate, vivid color, or color it in a creative way that you want. Now that does add a step, if you choose that option, of doing color grading, and you can buy LUTs out there. You can use the one that DJI provides for free on their website, or you can make your own if you really want to nerd out. But I like to use it. It provides a more accurate color and better dynamic range as well. Also, the dynamic range is another big benefit of shooting in D-Log-M color profile. Now, some of the competitors don't have this option available at this time, and that's a real big downside. So if you're a professional user, then you're going to want to make sure you get a camera that you can shoot 10-bit D-Log color.
So while I really do like this camera genuinely, there is one criticism that I'd like to share. It's to do with the colors out of the camera. So if you are using auto white balance, and if you are using normal color, not the D-Log-M color, and then you're going to do a color grade on it, then sometimes the colors straight out of the camera can look a little bit unnatural, depending on the lighting situation. This is in comparison to other DJI camera models that I've used, like the 4 and the 5 and other DJI products, and also some of the competitive action cameras to this. So this is something to be aware of. There's two things I recommend if you want to get the best looking, more natural colors out of the Action 6. Number one is that set manual white balance. So I recommend probably for daylight using around 5500 Kelvin white balance manual, so it won't be adjusting that all the time, which can sometimes throw the look of the colors off. The second thing you can do, and you should do if you want professional footage, and I've started to do a lot more now, is to shoot in D-Log-M and then apply a LUT. You know, color grade your footage. You don't have to do the color grading on your own. You can download a LUT from somebody else. DJI also provides a free LUT you can download from their website and apply that, which I use a lot. That will give you a good natural color, and that also gives you the added benefit of great dynamic range as well as better colors. So those are two things you can do, but I did want to share this because a lot of other reviewers have noted this with the colors on this camera, and I wanted to bring that up as well. If you buy one of these cameras and you want to get the most out of it, I highly recommend checking out Devin Jovie's user guide to the Osmo Action 6. He does a phenomenal job with his camera videos and user guides. So if you want to get the most out of it, I will link that video below. I'm happy to send the traffic his way, and he does an amazing job going through all the setup and features and how to use this camera to get the most out of it. I hope this video has been useful and informative. If you have questions or comments, please put that down below. Stay tuned for the camera comparison. I think that's going to be a really valuable video for all of you out there. All right, thank you so much for watching. Ride safe, and I'll see you out there.